want to play some Fall Guys. I haven't wanted to play Fall Guys in years. But I have to have my controller for that. So I gotta pick up a cheap controller. Bruh. Darman started looks maxing videos. Oh no.
We have a Darman video. Now, we haven't done a Darman video in quite some time, okay? It has been probably over a year since we've, like, I think we tried to watch a Darman video like 6 months ago and it was terrible. So that might be the same thing. And like, not a good terrible. Like, Darman videos are a good bad. You know what I mean? Like, a movie so bad it's good, but then there's a level of bad that it's just bad. We had one of those. The latter. So I'm hoping this one's good. It's about looks maxing and clavicular. Teen uses hammer to be handsome.
Respect potential, they respect proof. Strong jawline, strong life. Weak jawline, weak life. No one's coming to save you. You either upgrade.
That is a Looney Tunes mallet. That is not the shit BP guys are using to bone smash. That was like an actual hammer.
You either upgrade yourself, you stay invisible.
He just has that in his. He just has that in his bathroom.
Let's log into Fall Guys.
What are you doing?
Nothing, dude.
Nothing. Get out of my room. Nothing. It's just bone smashing. That's not that crazy. Okay, well, bone smashing you shouldn't do. You're hitting. You're basically willingly injuring yourself to look better. But I feel like for it to be to the point of like you close the door on your brother, you have to be like injecting peptides into your like you're using a needle of sorts. You just hitting your face with a mallet. I feel like that's not that crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but it's like not like, oh, I gotta slam the door on them. They're seeing this.
Thinking of trying out for girls volleyball?
Oh, no. I was, the font. It looks like it was chosen during, I was, the font. It looks like it was chosen during, like, a fire drill or something.
Ouch, I made that.
What a f***ing dweeb. Holy shit. The font, it's like Comic Sans. It's like one of my favorite fonts. You only really see that in like very basic uses of text. It's not
Poster.
Oh, well, hey, fire drills are really important. I mean, they're very efficient and, organized chaos is very key. It's great.
I'm kidding, I didn't make it.
That shit looks like AI.
Cool jacket.
Yeah? Thanks. I actually thrifted it. And,
I could tell. Oh, really? Oh, really? You thrifted that? Oh, my God. I thought you got that from Ralph Lauren.
I added the stitches and the patching. My brother actually helped me with that one. I just like making stuff feel less, like
Ralph Lauren, same shit.
factory default.
Huh. That one actually reminds me of henna.
Yeah, I grew up seeing
I always say Lauren. It sounds fancier.
patterns at weddings and family events and stuff, and so I try incorporating them where I can.
Do you ever do actual henna?
Sometimes. Mostly for my cousins and my little brother Keon, but he mostly asks for dragons.
You should bring some to my get-together. Maybe do a small design for me?
Still need help picking up supplies for your thing this weekend? I'll come early. Cole can carry stuff. Ryder can make sure the lighting loves him.
Finally.
Why are you talking to this guy here? Looks like he's chud maxing. Why does he have this girl's volleyball poster in his fucking locker? This guy's a fucking loser now. Oh my God.
Charity work, I believe it.
Zane, it was serious. You should
Oh,
pull
me and the guys have to go jelk in the bathroom. Sorry.
up for the start of summer break. Bring the henna, if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'll be there.
Trying to show up dressed like a museum shop.
That is like a Disney bully, bro. He has a sweater tied around his fucking neck.
Trying to show up dressed like a museum shop.
Nobody likes my style. Everybody thinks I'm so fucking lame because I wear henna fucking jean jackets. Oh my god, I'm such a loser. I should pay $50 to fucking get a looks maxing Discord. Oh.
Hey Zane, can you help me with this? I can't get the nose right.
Let's see. Check it out.
All right.
You like it?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, brah. That's totally rad. Thank you for the help, big bro.
Mom said you're going
The most non-human character fucking interaction that was.
to a party.
More like a little get-together, nothing
Yep.
crazy.
Wait, you should wear your jacket. It's got main
Yeah.
character energy.
Sounds
Everyone
good,
else
baby.
dresses like a school bro shirt.
Job.
Your style's
It's
different.
really exciting.
Maybe that's the problem.
Any news on the panels or no? Oh yeah. He's holding them for you.
Mom, big bro's using men's vitality magazines. Oh my god, he's going down a bad rabbit hole right now.
Oh, it's just like
I
a
think
place
I saw
you could buy
Looney
them.
Tunes mallet in the bathroom that he's using to
I
bone
got you, baby.
smash.
Very interesting, baby.
Every time I talk to him, he's always mewing. He never even says anything anymore. He's always just standing there, looks maxing.
I'm guessing I'm a little early. I can leave and come back. I could also
You wanna go to
just stand in the
Sal's
sun
for,
and
like,
pretend I got lost.
Actually, you might
An
have
anniversary
perfect
or
timing.
something?
This was supposed to look cute 30 minutes ago.
That would be really awesome, baby.
You're making that face. Just say it.
I mean, it's kind of got like middle school vibes, but it's cool.
I knew it looked bad. Thanks. Are you gonna help me or what? Just stand there?
Yeah.
Why are the bottom two buttons unbuttoned? Is this like a casual look people do on a button-down shirt? Like I get you don't button top button, but the bottom two? What the fuck? Zod said it's an Indian thing. Really? What we got fucking Christmas lights?
Just like the wind, just let it pass through. Just let it pass through.
Yo, what fucking weird pivot did Darman videos make where they do these weird like music collab fucking like you know what I mean? Like it's like old Darman videos used to just be like straight acting, and now it'll be like a fucking B-roll highlight reel with like some wholesome shit in the background. Like radio music. It's always coworker music in the background. And it's just like them hanging up Christmas lights and like being in love, and then it's gonna hard cut. If I predict this, don't even say fucking pre-watch. It's gonna be this, it's gonna hard cut, and it's gonna be Clavicular, or the fucking guy that's supposed to look like Clav. Is gonna come walking down the sidewalk and be like, what a fucking loser, you're helping this woman with her fucking photography? What a low tier normie thing to do, man. Alpha male's like, oh, sit back and watch.
Nothing happened by accident. Flowers bloom
Oh, you're sitting there and coloring? Oh.
cause you planted them, watered them to perfection, and now there's no more empty bases. Now you reap all the benefits.
Okay, being able to do a henna as a man is like ultimate riz. That's surely bumping him up like 3 points. I know you're gonna say pre-watch, Chad. It's a Darman video. It's like the same script over and over again. That's gotta be like he's up 3 points now.
Looks like Zoe's buying what the museum gift shop is selling. Guess time the museum gift shop goes out of business.
Yeah. This party is pretty cool.
Well, thank you so much for helping me.
I mean, thank you for having me.
That's just, like, not what they would say. Like, if we're really leaning into this, like, looks-maxing bully shit, they would look at each other and be, like, homophobic and be like, that's gay. Like, that's what they would say. Like, they wouldn't sit there and be like, why don't we, like, burst his bubble? Like, they would say some fuck shit. Like...
Zoe, this photo wall is literally the cutest. It was all Zane.
Oh, no.
Zoe, come on. You need to get in this next one. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, Zaner!
What's up, you guys?
You good, man? You look stressed.
Dude, yeah, I'm chill.
He just needs to loosen up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, what a sick prank. Prank was. I shook up your beer. Oh, my God.
Here. Come on, man. Peace offering.
Ooh, a sunrise IPA. I think I'd rather die than have that. Thank you for the offering, though. But yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna be drinking your IPA tonight.
Thank you. Yeah. Cheers.
I was recording on an iPhone 8. Why? Who would ever crack a beer like that?
We got that? We got him.
Oh, you got that, dude? No way, man. Post that shit on Twitter. Post that shit on Twitter. Oh my God.
Got Gallo something.
Really? Yeah, I would have drank that. Come on.
Bro, you know how often I spill beer on my shirt if I'm, like, out? I feel like most people are not caring about that. If you go to a bar where people are drunk and you're talking to guys that are drinking, like 1 in 2 of them have like some sort of alcohol on their
Now
shirt.
arriving at Yijang Tower.
Tip. That's the only tip you need. Is looks maximum. All right. Step 1.
Make sure you're
Make sure
ready.
it lines up.
Who knows what we'll find out there.
She gets it.
Okay, you know what's crazy though? Is that's like a pretty lore accurate depiction of like the TJR Duke
Yo, thank you, Flicker, for
LARPers.
joining. Appreciate it.
Like the guys that like TJR's actually rich. Like the guys that act like TJR and pretend to be like super rich, attractive guys that live in like Miami. When in reality, they're like leasing their car and renting their apartment under like extreme levels of debt. And they're like full banking that people are going to buy their program.
Yo, thank you, Lopez28, for joining.
Buy my
Appreciate
course
it.
on how to sell courses. You're just a fucking lonely loser chud, right? That lives in his mom's basement.
all
Why don't
these
you give me
maps. Fuck all these
$100
maps.
and I'll tell you how you could sell a course and act like me so other people fall for your shit. Wait, isn't that kind of like a pyramid scheme? No, not at all.
Talk to Zoe about being awkward. Get invited. Click on
No, it's an upside down diamond. Yeah, it's a half down. No, it's not a pyramid scheme. I would say it's more an inverted diamond.
Select hero guns.
read party. Stop being invisible. Stop being weird. Get
Bro, he's like writing with like fucking like expo markers.
stronger. Fix.
Oh,
Skin.
that sound is like bothering me.
And fix hair. Make. Wake. Respect me.
I want to mention the key harmony points. The temple, the jawline, and the chin. Now you want a narrow chin, something that's going to bring out your facial structure.
Bro, I was looking at my jawline the other day. Sorry, I'm not getting into some BP shit. I was looking at my jawline the other day. My chin sticks out so far that it like my jawline goes like this and then down. Like if I died and you looked at my skull, it would look so fucking weird. like, it like goes downwards, like out and then down.
Especially if you have hollow eye sockets. Make sure that you...
Isn't that like a bad thing? I feel like if I ever got into like MMA fighting, you could just chin me and I would just fucking faint. Like that's like a disadvantage from like a biological, like human anatomy perspective. Not chin me? Yeah, I mean, dude, if you, like, if I was in a boxing match and you punched me here, like, that would fucking hurt so bad.
Put a color contact or a color that's at least a...
Dude, honestly, isn't the ideal build for boxing, like, Discord mod? Like, no chin. Like, you have, like, no weak points. Like, if you have no chin, is that bad or good? Like, maybe you want a strong jaw, but I feel like if you just had, like, a worm face, that would be, like, literally, like, so where are they coming from? You don't even need an iron apple. Have you seen Monster Butter? I have. He's very long.
Objective unlocked.
Don't let them push it any farther.
No one respects the guy
We have the robot.
They respect the guy.
Nah, what fucking off-brand earbuds is he wearing?
Let's push forward.
Now very strict lifting regimen. You're gonna want to hit the match until you can't lift your arms anymore. That way, you'll be able to expand your frame, so you can take up more.
Yeah, never lift legs, only do upper body.
More space.
Come here. I can heal you.
Nice. Taking the lead. What's happening?
Oh my god, it just dropped away.
Enemy radar contact.
Not some exactly. People go and look and be like, that guy needed help.
Thank you, Argot, for joining. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Gara. Thank you, Zach, for joining.
Dude, he's perfect. Look.
Thank you, Bob.
He's already in.
Advancing
Over here.
Rose Garcia. Thank you for joining. Appreciate
What happened there? We're starting a summer maxi program. Cole handles health.
That is a dollar store ass game. I gotta say that right now. That shit is fake as fuck. Oh my god. Like they're getting him walking up. That shit is blasted.
We're starting a summer maxi.
Okay, actually, in Minecraft. In GTA 6. Oh wait, it doesn't exist yet.
And I handle...
Like the funny shit. Like if you actually look at this guy's like forearms, he's just wearing a
Y'all see my plushie? He's yo, thank you, Fabi. He's running. Shit.
And I handle the...
Okay, I gotta play aggressive. I have to play aggressive. And okay, playing against Cassidy's not gonna help me at all. It's not gonna help me at all. Can I? Y'all see Ghost back? Yeah, you can.
Work on you, work on anybody. You could find, somebody else.
Meteor strike.
Let the kitsune
So you
guide
in?
you.
Or you want to keep being... whatever this is?
Fuck off, dude!
Come to me for heal.
Get the score like an 8.
Volunteer.
Here's some meth. What do I have to do? I'm gonna have to stop. Here's some meth. You need to get addicted to these.
Let's go normal.
What is that? Ball for almost mini balls. Second ultimate.
Come here. I can heal you.
This is like that one show. What was that show they actually had in the early 2000s where they would bring on somebody that was really insecure and through a like a two-way mirror or like a one-way mirror, they would have a bunch of people like stare at half-naked person and be like,
Woo! Ow! Oh shit!
Exactly. She has her eyes look a little disproportionate. You know what I'm talking about. And then they would surgery. And and then they would do like fucking the swamp. I never actually got it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why was she gonna res again? Hold up. What was that? Did you see that shit? Chad. That's a little sus.
So this is the same person. They would bring them on, and they would have like average people poke at every insecurity they ever had, and then it would be like 2 months. They'd get a shitload of surgery, maybe change their like workout regimen or whatever, and then they would do an after.
Let me get a full body check.
Where's Archirica?
It's even, right?
This is the pec measurement.
Over here! Over here!
Fuck, dude. Oh my gosh, she got a fucking 3K.
Like, I shave my armpits as a guy. Like, I gotta shave. I shave my armpits as a guy every once in a while. And, like, I'll manscape. But, dude, guys that shave their legs fully, oh my god, dude. That has to be, like, the worst fucking day ever. That has to take 3 hours. If I just
Doesn't take
my
3
legs,
hours, bro.
you know how long that would take? Even if I had them already shaved and you're just, like, upkeeping it, dude, the amount of hair I grow on my... It's like, dude, my under thigh hair is like...
Tactical visor activated.
I gotta swap. I gotta swap eventually.
That shit grows back. It's so annoying. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Being a woman and having to shave your leg, your whole body, like every day, every other day. Oh, I gotta go shower. She'll be like, oh, I'm gonna shower in 45 minutes. Like, yeah, they gotta fucking shave their whole body.
The enemy took the robot.
They're catching up to us!
I'm going in.
Uh-oh, they're recruiting!
Jinxie, bro, literally. Your fucking body is your life, you know?
Woo!
Armpit hair is like uncomfortable and nasty. Use a washcloth. When I do use the washcloth, I'm using that shit one time and wash it. When I see a motherfucker use a washcloth and they hang that shit up, I go, wash your that motherfucker.
Duplicating doom.
Hand it.
Kill number 4.
Meteor strike.
I got a dedicated butt ball.
All systems on optimal
Can I
level.
be real? If your butthole is that dirty that you have a dedicated cloth to wash your butthole, I feel like that's almost worse.
Group up with me.
It's brown. Did you buy it brown?
Over here.
My ultimate is ready.
You cannot escape fear. Protect us, kick.
Enemy team about to detonate.
Enemy spotted.
Good enough.
You've checked yourself 6 times since we sat down.
I'm not checking, Mom. I'm just looking around.
His name's Zane, bro. He's born to be a looks maxer.
Thanks.
Push the robot.
Can you give your brother and I a moment?
Yes.
Enemy forward spawn.
What's going on with you?
Nothing is nothing. I'm working on a self-improvement plan, okay?
Well, the plan is to improve who you are.
Is there a difference?
There's nothing wrong in trying to improve yourself as long as you don't lose yourself.
You know, I'm not feeling too hungry.
Zane.
Keeping the robot company. Alright, that's a new PR.
Zane?
Forward spawn.
Zoe.
Over here.
You've been busy. today.
Behind you, making progress on the barricade.
I didn't take you for an Irish goodbye yet.
Oh! I keep killing dudes. I keep killing my teammates.
He's gonna be convinced that he wants things for looks more than personality, so he's gonna act like he's not gonna like him. And then he's gonna apologize and he's gonna be like, oh my god, sorry, I'm so sorry. I realized that like you like me because of my personality and it doesn't matter if I'm a black pillar. And then they're gonna end up falling in love.
I had gotten soda on my shirt.
Stop that push!
I left.
We're low on time. This is trying something.
Not paying for gym memberships watching.
Pyramid bench press right now. We're doing
Enough side quests. It's time for another rating.
Come on, bro. Flex your core. I am, man. Flex it.
It's time for another rating. Let's load up Omagle.
Harder. Trying, bro.
Alright, boys. She's up. Posted.
Oh my god, he got rated higher than him. Ooh. When the student becomes the master.
Ridiculous muscles need to hit every single day. I'm talking traps. I'm talking core.
I am. No days off.
What's the average?
Ridiculous.
Looks like you're still not scoring that invite.
What?
Wait, what? 6'8". I thought he got a 9'3".
This can't be. Guys, I'm doing everything that you said. Maybe your program just doesn't work.
Oh, they changed it?
What? Oh, God.
He control inspected.
What is this?
Your level up.
How do you want that in the summer scene? 5.3? Or someone that people will actually notice?
LMAO. Yo, what is happening in this video? Thank you, Masai, for joining. I appreciate it. Yo, Mampita! Thank you for the follow! Yo. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I'm logging into my stream manager right now.
The paper bag got a hammer in it. Why did they just hand it to him?
Thank you, Bombita! Yo, that means a lot. Really appreciate it.
Oh my God,
I appreciate you following.
He just breaks his jaw.
Yo, we're almost there. We're almost there to 900.
Come here, Zane.
900 followers. It's gonna go
What
crazy.
happened?
Mom,
900
nothing
followers
happened,
on
okay?
Twitch. It's
I
gonna
got hurt
go
at the
pretty
gym.
insane.
Yeah.
Zane.
I really
I told
appreciate
you,
it.
I
You
got hurt at the gym.
Zane, come here.
thank you for making this stream a whole lot better. Thank you so much. All right.
There it is.
Kind of want to play low gravity. I'm not
See
gonna.
what
We
we
won
got.
that one. I
Not bad. All right, let me upload this one, boys.
want to play some low gravity. I really want to play Fall Guys, but I want to get a controller for y'all because I usually play with controller. And man, I love playing Fall Guys. Then I want to kind of transition into
And the summer dirt is on Saturday.
maybe like YouTube rant content.
Yeah. Yeah, I am there.
Let's see.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You'll definitely get into Alpha Beta Kappa. When you're in college, you're gonna have the honor
All right.
of being sprayed with ketchup in a dark basement.
So how do you think he's gonna react to our little surprise?
Okay.
We shall see.
Hey, have you looked at the folder I gave you?
Yeah, Keon, because I got so much free time, man.
Can I ask you a question? Are you happy now?
Ketchup if you're lucky. No, literally.
I'm closer.
Bro, I just said I said random Greek characters, bro. What do you want me to say? Real frat name, Teak? Like.
What's this?
Hey! Don't touch my stuff, man. Come on, dude.
All right, a little pre-party snack. Just something to help
2 Tylenol.
take the
2 Tylenols. They said 2 Tylenols. Lamau.
I don't really know about that. Hey,
Hello, girl.
Invite can still be taken away.
Dude, you're telling me you don't want to take part in this? We've got some high-level acetaminophen. I don't even think you understand how much anti-inflammatory this is.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
This
That's
shit will
really good.
constrict your blood vessels way more than anything else.
Cheers.
Whoa. Oh, there's some nice meals. Whoa, there's a lot of nice meals
They,
in
like,
here.
so
Yo.
clearly didn't eat that. Literally in front of his face. Literally in front of his face, he just threw it out the window. Oh my god, you think it's a laxative?
Oh my gosh.
It's actually an estrogen pill.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Good luck.
Hey, how's it going?
See?
Oh, how you doing? Hey.
Yeah, go.
I'm off the acetaminophen. Acetaminophen.
You look different.
Hey, Zoe, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right?
I've been trying to talk to you. You haven't answered any of my texts.
Again,
Sorry.
Okay, that's
Mambita.
like, wait, they actually just gave him drugs?
Mamba,
That's,
Mambita,
like, really
thank you
weird.
for joining.
They, like, gave
Thank
him
you so much
drugs and then didn't
for
take them.
following
I've
on my
been busy.
Twitch.
I got
Like they bought
really
like,
awesome.
Xanax or MDMA or what? I mean, like whatever they were trying to make that. It was Tylenol, but whatever they were trying to make that seem like they gave him and then didn't take this guy.
the boys.
You've been hanging out with Blake.
Glenn, Ryder, and Cole. I know what you're doing. And it's
Oh my god, is the brother gonna get hurt bone smashing and that'll lock the big brother in?
Hey, Zane. Big moment. Come on.
a blast.
You don't have to go every time he calls.
Everybody inside. Got a little surprise for everyone.
I love surprises.
Hey, case study. Let's go.
Case study. Come on, let's go. It'll be fun.
All right, listen up. Since everybody's been asking about what our summer program actually does, figured we'd show you proof. Yeah.
Are they just gonna make fun of him?
Blake, stop.
Relax. Guys, a happy ending.
Excuse me, guys. All right.
The face he made. What? What? He looks exactly the same.
Zane, with the most disgusting, embarrassing before I've ever seen in my life, and brother, that's saying a lot. Cheers, boys.
Bro, that's like crazy weird. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say they should have picked somebody else, but like they're being like the most disgusting before. Bro, he's like a very normal looking guy.
What is this?
What, you really thought we were your friends, bro?
Yeah. I thought you saw me as a friend. Not some experiment.
Hey, don't be dramatic, man, okay? This is the best you've ever looked.
What is this advice? Rules: no junk food, no junk food, no soda, 1 gallon of water, posture. Protect your energy.
Kian?
Back up, Mom. I'm gonna bone smash. I'll do it.
Mom, I can explain. Okay, it's not.
Can you? I found Kian in your bathroom. Zane, he was trying to copy you. What do you have to say for that? Kian looks up to you. You're his hero. Do you want to see what he made you? Look at it.
That's just AI, bro. ChatGPT made that. Hey, nice job, Grok. Good one on that. Your little brother that's also probably in like high school is drawing cartoons of you as a hero. I mean, come on. Being yourself is your power.
Choose
oh,
heroes.
like, bro, there's a level of like the message is valid, but the delivery is so lame. You're weird. You don't fit in. Shaking, upset, confused.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Keon. I need to be your superhero.
Hey, Mom told me
I'm
about...
sorry I went through your stuff. It's just everyone says we look alike. So if you hate how you look...
No, stop. There is nothing wrong
They look nothing alike.
with the way you look. Do you understand me?
Why are you trying so hard to change?
Because I was trying to be like everyone else. Like in those brochure and magazine covers. But you know what?
Oh my god, that's so corny. Zane the hero. Oh.
I'd rather be this. Listen, there's nothing wrong with trying to improve yourself. So long as you don't actually lose yourself in the process. I took things a little too far. And I
Bro said it's a YouTube video, dog. They ain't gonna look exactly like. I know. I'm just saying the point doesn't make sense.
I want you to make the same mistakes I did, okay?
Oh, really, dude? That's crazy. I thought I was watching CCTV footage this entire time, and this is somebody's real life.
What's this?
I made it for your jacket while you were being emotionally unavailable.
Well, that's a very professional review. Summer, I deserve that.
He steals people's brains and makes them think comments are facts. So what are you gonna do when you get back to school in the fall?
My stylist said it had main character energy. Oh, he's 13 and he charges in the form of snacks.
Did you guys hear?
Jacket. It's gonna make your
Wow, that one slipped by me. Raw milk is what?
Is it just me, or has everybody changed? And not for the better either. Let's go take a look.
I am like so sick of like our society and the lock that everyone has for each other. Like I'm so sick and tired, and I would never like I would keep my feelings aside because social media is like freaking social media. It's literally nothing.
Yes, I agree. I'm like so tired as well, but she's right. These days, it feels like people are really lacking empathy, not only on social media, but also in real life. But if you want to focus on social media, let's just say it's not exactly the place to share your opinion most of the time, because you will end up in an argument with a faceless account, most likely.
I don't know if it's the generation, I don't know if it's the heat, I don't know if it's what having 20. People are extremely weird now, and that's why you look at a couple people are by myself.
Too relatable, and I think a lot of people are probably actually doing the same thing, and most of the crazy people are pretty much screaming on social media or crashing out at some random cafe. Meanwhile, the people that are sane and want to live a normal life, generally they are living a lot more low-key, including me.
Is anyone who's just sick and tired of this younger generation? This one, lunch money in the store. Not one employee spoke to me, and at the register when I said thank you after I paid, she was handing me my bag. She just looked at me and rolled her eyes. Like, do you realize that without your customers, you don't have a job there? Sick of it.
Okay, this one might require a little bit of nuance, just because I know what it's like to actually work retail, and these days you're generally not going to get the great customer service in retail like it once was. You're probably not going to get a customer service smile asking, how was your day, what can I get for you, type of thing. The entire culture has shifted and the workforce has shifted. Now, for the nuance, her being a part of the older generation is shaking her fist at the younger generation for being super rude at their jobs. And I know how frustrating it is when you're literally just trying to ask for your size in blue jeans and the Gen Z worker rolls their eyes and gives you a stare. I don't agree with treating people like that, but in Gen Z shoes working retail in this day and age, I will generally suspect that most of the boomers or the older generations that go shopping, they're generally not kind. Everybody has some boomer retail story where Matilda decides to scream at the poor 21-year-old for not smiling at them enough and not giving them a discount on rose-scented candles. While on the other hand, that poor 20-year-old Gen Z worker basically has no future, and that job is not even paying for 1/3 of the rent that she's living in, shared with 7 roommates. Both sides are just as tired, fed up, and rude and broke as the next.
Our generation, I mean this spans age groups, but specifically our generation is the most selfish group of people and purely acts out of self-interest. It blows my mind. We have no idea how to form communities, how to contribute to a community, how to be kind and neighborly, how to be adults.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say, I think I unfairly just target older generations a bit in my previous videos because honestly, Gen Z is just as insufferable as older generations. If anything, all of us are insufferable, especially these days, right? I can only understand why Gen Z treat each other and everything like that because think about how they grew up, right? They grew up with basically a smartphone in hand through their preteen adolescent years to now young adulthood, which are already the most narcissistic and selfish years of any human being. But if you get social media and you have the ability to create a platform, and then you have certain influencers making millions of dollars just doing a 3-second dance, right? And then their friends do it, and then that gets introduced in high school, where now popular kids don't just football players and cheerleaders. No, there are real influencers making 6 figures for looking a specific way, right? That's what you have have to deal with in terms of the popular kids in high school in that generation, right? So with that being introduced and how algorithms just give everybody this echo chamber and basically feed into everybody's own narcissism and selfish desires, you're only going to raise a bunch of young adults later on in life that literally only act in self-interest. You're kind of screwed at that point. There's not really a sense of community or collective responsibility or manners and politeness when that becomes how you actually grew up, right?
Who feels like when you meet new people nowadays, they no longer possess normal human emotion, and it's terrifying. I'm talking like passion, empathy, remorse. They do not care about anything that you're saying. They are in their own world. It's so hard for them to hold on a conversation. They're so robotic. Things have changed fast and drastically. Who agrees with me? It's actually really scary.
I'm thinking about the people that I've run into these days and if they're maintaining that robotic kind of numb, exhausted attitude. And I wouldn't say it's everyone, but generally the general atmosphere of a lot of people is kind of just like checked out, right? I would more so compare that emotion that I see on people's faces kind of like what's similar to like an 1,000-yard stare, like something is haunting people behind their eyes. Everybody's souls have kind of just checked out because everybody is so tired, right? People are probably just reaching a point of just pure exhaustion and numbness. That's probably what that expression is, but I would generally agree. That's how we kind of all feel now, right?
And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been here that long, but I can say I've been here long enough to know about 10, 12 years ago, people was not this evil, bro. And the reason I say that is because I remember a time where people did have like a sense of morality about themselves. Like they did follow like a certain type of moral code or whatnot. And me being in the South, me growing up in the South can play a big part, right? But it's like, I still remember a time where it just wasn't this bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I know people always kind of disrespected God, you know what I'm saying? But I promise you, back then, it just wasn't as bad as it is today.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, about 10 plus years ago, people were generally more positive leaning, optimistic, and I guess morally aligned. These days, with everything that had changed, especially since 2020, our general spectrum of what's morally right versus wrong is very different. I feel like these days, people have been grinded so far down that the general spectrum or window of what they would do now was not close to what they used to do before, right? Like, people have always, I guess, misbehaved, betrayed people, gotten into crime and all of these things before, but there was a small window, like the last 10 years or a little bit past that, where people generally were better behaved. They generally, if they had something mean to say, they wouldn't just say it to somebody's face, let alone comment it on the internet somewhere, and if they did, it was an anonymous account, right? There was a general shared feeling of overall respect interacting with practically anybody. It didn't matter what age, what race, what gender you were. Most people were at least well-behaved in the majority sense. I could honestly say these days it's not like that. I would actually say disrespect is actually the general foundation of how most of us interact and actually treat each other now. I feel like, especially with the hard economic and political times, we are extremely divided, broke, frustrated, and angry. And a lot of us don't have family or close friends anymore. So what does anyone have to lose anymore, right? Everybody is purely on survival, and respecting your neighbor or anybody you run into is not going to benefit your life in any way. If anything, we see more and more things on social media and general media overall where the biggest villains, the morally apprehensible people are the ones that actually get ahead in this life. And the people that are frustrated being broke and stepped on and pushed over in life, they're now finally reaching a breaking point where they're willing to do what you would call, I guess, evil things, or at least questionable things, in order to better their position in life. It's a really slippery place to be, but I don't exactly encourage it either, but I can only understand why people end up being this way here. You guys have seen Breaking Bad, right? The whole reason why Walter White stopped becoming a chemistry teacher, instead started in a drug empire and becoming an evil person in the end, was because he got diagnosed with cancer in America. And if you have a sickness in America, guess what? You are 6 figures in debt. And the only way that he could pay for his own health care in the end was to literally start start a drug empire. Sure, that's purely fictional, but I guarantee in this current state of the world, so many people are at least thinking about taking a page out of Walter White's book.
Drive through and I put my food in my cart and I'm like, here you go. And I'm like, fine. Hands me back my card. Thank you. Hands me my food. Thank you. Have a good day. Not a word. Like, she did not speak a word. And this happens to me every single time that I like go through the drive-through or I'm in the checkout line at a store and it's only around people my age. Why are we so weird? Guys, why are we weird? Why are we acting like it's our first day on earth? I don't know why this bothers me so much, but why is it that when
We're all dead. We're all dead. Yeah, we're cooked.
why do I not know how to think? It's really fucking crazy. I don't know, but like,
Yeah, how the fuck did we just have that, guys?
Even if it's something small or like in their job
We were doing so fucking good. We probably needed a shit.
Yeah, times have changed, and I can only understand her frustration as well as her age group, right? Because on one half, you have the people, the consumers her age, trying to buy things and just get general good service, whether it's the food industry or the retail industry, right? And on the other hand, her generation that is actually working in those industries, they are fed up with their lives, and they do not want to make small talk with literally anybody. Don't take it personally. I think the younger generations generally hate everyone equally, just like boomers, right? But it's kind of funny how things change, because generally before, I was not a big fan of small talking. I found it quite annoying, superficial, surface level, and kind of just felt like an energy drain and a waste of time. But in this current state of the world, I actually enjoy small talk quite a lot, because it rarely happens these days. So if it does happen and you actually maintain the conversation, most of the time it'll be a bit more positive, because the people that don't want to talk will not talk. And generally, I don't want to talk. So if somebody actually breaks through to make a general casual conversation about surface level polite things, it's actually kind of a refresher in this current stage of the world, right? And apparently these days, as she said, younger generations don't even say thank you, look at you, or greet you at all. And that's really unfortunate. I think with, I guess, my generation, millennials, Gen X, and even boomers and whatever, we lived in a world where actually communicating and interacting with people in real life was the norm, right? Sure, you had people with their social anxiety, but generally we weren't so naturally self-conscious or judgmental to a point that we wouldn't talk to anyone. To literally get anything done or to do anything in that life before the smartphones and tech, you just had conversations with people and it wasn't a big deal. Generations now living and growing up in the social media age, starting with Gen Z and younger, they're not used to face-to-face interactions and conversations that last at least, 30 seconds generally. Because how long is a short form reel on TikTok and Instagram, right? That's generally the amount people actually want to pay attention and listen to somebody, let alone if you want to actually talk to somebody. What do? Text them. No phone calls, potential voice notes, and maybe a FaceTime if it's actually serious or you're potentially romantically interested in somebody. But in most cases, natural, organic, real-life conversation is not the primary way to go about talking and meeting people.
So I'm in Walmart right now. I know. It's empty though. There's like no one here. And I need an extension cord. And I was like, over here, so I'm gonna, whatever, look around. Can't even find it. So go up to an employee. Excuse me, do you have a extension cord? They look at me. They go, I don't know what that is. I'm like, an extension cord?
I do not know what
I don't know what that
extension
is.
cord is. Brother.
I love how he didn't even give some commentary over that situation. He just ended the video after that. Bruh, I have literally been in situations exactly like that. I don't think people just forgot what extension cords are or how to do their job. I just think people don't even care about their job or doing anything anymore. And again, I do empathize, especially people trying to make a living and survive in this current state of the world, and a bunch of entitled customers are yelling at you for the stupidest things. So then eventually you just get to that point of burnout where you're just like, I don't even want to help anybody anymore. But I'm not fired yet, so I'm gonna keep my job for now. But yeah, as much as I do empathize with workers, when you are the actual customer and you need assistance, oh my god, it's almost like you hate the entire retail food and service industry as a whole in that very moment. But of course, that's not how I really feel. But I mean, there was a situation that I've even mentioned in a previous video where I was in a mall and I wanted to use one of those Unk massage chairs, right? Because I would like to have at least one enjoyable thing in this world, right? So I sat on the massage chair that I've been in at least, what, 20 times already. And this time, I couldn't use my phone to pay. So I'm like, all right, technology, gotta love it. Doesn't work this time, even though it's worked a million times before. Let me try to use cash. I put the cash in the cash slot. Remember, those used to exist, right? And what happens? There goes my money. Nothing happens. The chair does not vibrate, doesn't punch your spine like it should, right? Doesn't give me a happy ending. Okay, no happy endings here, but in general, nothing happened. It just ate my money, and I didn't know what to do because I really wanted that massage, or at least my money back. So I go to the nearest security guard, I tell him about it, and he looks at me and goes, I don't know. Then another security guard sees the interaction. He comes over and he looks at me and goes, I don't know. And then another security guard comes around, and now there's 3 security guards and me. Just looking at all of them, and they look at me and go, I don't know. And like the guy in the video, I didn't give any more commentary and reply to any of them. I just walked away because why bother? Why do we even believe that we can at least have one fun, positive thing in this life? No, you get nothing. None of you. And yes, my back is still sore today.
Another recession indicator that I have seen in the past since 2010 forward when I got into real estate, and this doesn't necessarily apply to real estate, it's how rude people become. People get desperate, they get a little desperate for money, and they take their stresses out on you. I have been seeing just bad behaviors all over the board, not necessarily from other agents, but just in professional spaces. I just think seeing people kind of unwind. I don't see people enjoying their hobbies as much. I don't see people talking about their hobbies as much. I don't see people really doing, like, all they do is just work, drive around, do side hustles, stay broke, stay miserable, and I think it's making a lot of people here in the United States very angry, and they're taking it out on each other.
You are not crazy, because these days that is the general common temperament and emotional state of all of us collectively. Because when we fall on hard economic times, it literally affects every element of society. It doesn't matter what age you are and how everyone communicates with each other. If everybody is collectively so stressed for their next paycheck to actually cover their next breakfast or rent, the general mood of a society generally is not very positive. They are stressed out beyond belief and kind of feeling a bit hopeless, angry, irritable, depressed, despairing, and etc., right? And what's unfortunate is that most people, especially in the West, let alone America itself, living in such an individualistic country, most people don't exactly have a community or other close friends or people that they know that they can actually vent and complain about their situation without judgment. This is honestly why I think therapy is so encouraged, especially in America and the States in general, because most people don't actually have a real person they can vent to. Nowadays, it's what? ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and the list goes on. Venting to AI about their real life personal human problems to a robot that's going to take their jobs and give them even a harder time. God, the irony of today's dystopian society, right? But it's true. If you go in any professional sector, let alone visit any business, whether it's real estate or the food industry, retail, generally, most people within those sectors are also just as stressed. It doesn't matter if you're an actual real estate agent trying to flip houses for 6 figures or you're working minimum wage at a burger joint. The same stressors of economic hardships are literally affecting everyone, maybe in just different tax brackets, but in general, people are really feeling the pressure, and the stressors that they're going through every single day eventually needs a release valve. And what better way to take out your anger and stress than to flip off a stranger in the middle of the street and yelling at some old lady? Disclaimer, I am not encouraging that. There are better ways to deal with your anger.
People are so strange now. Like, they have really gotten weird. Like, if you are kind to somebody, just out the kindness of your heart, like, you're not people pleasing, you're not doing any of that, you're just kind, more than likely within the next few days or weeks, that person will turn on you. Like, it is so weird out here in this world. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. Or you just kindly like, hello, how are you? Just the vibes are so off, and it really shows you how people are just getting stranger. People are just getting weirder. People do not have God in their life.
Yeah, I know I look like a type of person that is generally very indifferent, maybe aggressive, or what you would call judgmental and whatever, and maybe I am to a certain degree. Who isn't, right? Generally, when it comes to interacting with strangers or how I would like to present myself to most people, I generally lead with a more polite and I guess optimistic attitude with some extra manners, right? I think it would be great if all of us can do that simultaneously, but these days when the general atmosphere is, I guess, what? Indifference, numbness, doom and gloom, most people do not have the energy to even pretend like they're actually polite or having a good time. And honestly, in my own experience these days, it's not that I don't want to be polite to everybody, but when you keep continuing with that attitude for most people and giving that positive energy to most people and you rarely ever get it back, it actually takes so much out of you by the end of the day, and then you stack those days until they become months, and eventually you're like, why the hell am I trying to keep a smile on my face, being polite to everybody when they are literally dismissing me, insulting me, judging me, and blah 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 blah, where eventually you realize becoming and trying to be polite to everyone you see becomes kind of a net loss for you, right? Because like, what are you getting out of it? And in the end anyways, right? You're just sending positive energy to people that don't deserve it, and they just suck it dry like a vampire. And I think a lot of people eventually get to this point in life where they stop trying to please others because generally by the end of the day they either get deceived, betrayed, or they don't get anything back out of it, right? And I understand the point of like, you should be nice to everyone and don't expect anything in return, but even the slightest thing like being polite back, and if you can't even get the easiest optimism or positive reaction back towards you, you don't really need to treat anybody with some extra glitter and sprinkles, right? It doesn't even mean you have to be rude and just flip everybody off that you see, but you know, you can just keep to yourself. I guess that's how I approach things these days. Like, if people come to me first with a positive attitude, I will give so much more positivity back. But every day, if I'm just going about my own way, I don't exactly walk around with a smile on my face. If anything, I have a face that says, don't bother me. If people are positive first, I'll give it back. And I think that's fair enough, right?
People are not the same. You can argue with me all day long if you want to. I don't care. I'm a nurse. I live through it. I work through it. People are not the same. I'm not exactly sure what happened, if it's PTSD, if they didn't get enough oxygen to their brain, but people are just not the same as they were back before that. I don't know. I don't know if it's because they were in their house for so long, they just got so used to not dealing with the public. Like I said, if it's because they didn't get enough oxygen to their brain and now they just have problems like communicating, some people are rude and just don't know how to act no more.
God, you gotta love that accent, right? That deep, sweet Southern accent. I feel like if you hear a very heavy Southern accent, it's either gonna go two ways. The first is like her. You're basically going to hear the sweetest, most kindest, empathetic words, and she'll probably give you a tray of cookies to try out with that Southern hospitality. The second way is that you'll probably be extremely offended. But that's besides the point. In general, she does have a point. I actually made an entire video of how I think people changed, especially after 2020, because I completely agree with her. She probably saw it at the ground level being a nurse during that time period. I don't want to get into the extreme details like I did in the previous video. You can go watch that if you would like. But in general, I think that general societal emotional shift and attitude switch happened since 2020. Ever since that happened, our psyches kind of split apart. We kind of downloaded our entire consciousness towards social media and the internet, and literally the instability of the world has only just increased and accelerated. And ever since then, people are not the same. The social trust, the social fabric, the societal contract was broken ever since then, and literally none of it has been repaired until now. I'm sorry, it hasn't been repaired until now. It still isn't repaired, and I think that's why a lot of us are continuing to act this way, and people's attitudes are actually just getting worse and harder to deal with, because we would love for things to get better, things to get fixed, and for things to just get a little bit more normal again. But it feels as if things are just only accelerating for the worse. That being said, I would love to hear your thoughts below. Have things changed? Are people worse now, or maybe better? Who knows? That being said, my name is Pierre. Welcome to Into the Ether, commentary for the Overthinker. it almost feels as if we all got tired of absolutely everything all at the same time. And it's not exactly a fun place to be in, but I'm sure maybe you can relate. But in my own personal experience, every time I open up my phone, look at social media, and even when I go out into the real world, I feel like there is a general emotional atmosphere of everyone either being super on edge, irritable, exhausted, or maybe just in absolute silent despair, right? Some people are a lot louder than others about how terrible they're feeling, but in general, it does not feel like an overall positive or optimistic or even motivated attitude for all of us collectively as it once was maybe 10-ish years ago, right? And you can argue that all throughout humanity we've pretty much suffered and have gone through many chapters of dark times, and even in recent modern history, you know, we've had catastrophic global events and had a lot of lulls and dips in terms of how we're feeling as a whole, but for some reason this time period seems very different. I guess one can argue that maybe I am just finally getting older and seeing the horrors of the world, but even generations that are younger than me, they are feeling the same exact existential nihilism and despair as somebody in their 40s right now. And I would argue that that is not normal. Usually, I don't think it's very common for people all across genders, ages, and backgrounds to feel this overall nihilism as a collective. And you could even argue that it expands even further than just one area. I think this feeling of pessimism and cynicism is going beyond just a country or just one culture. I feel like globally right now, everybody feels the same exact frustration. And, you know, you can argue and point to, I guess, very practical and logistical reasons, right? Like the global economy as a whole. It's very hard to find even one country or culture in the world right now that is, I guess, in a very stable or, I guess, improving economic state. If you don't want to look at money, that's always really boring. Right? You can even point to politically, right? Globally, politically, we are probably in one of the most unstable times ever, right? And then if you want to ignore that, let's just even look at what? Social level, a cultural and social level. People are not treating each other in the most friendliest or nicest of ways. And you can see general proof of this on social media and any videos that are posted online. And I know what you're thinking. Social media just kind of magnifies the negatives of humanity and just shoves it in your face. So therefore you have some sort of confirmation bias to claim that the entire world is like that. And I understand, and I think there is a truth to that. However, the more time goes on, there seems to be the line that separates us physically and the digital world. That line seems to be disappearing as we go. Where, for example, you might actually yourself see somebody crashing out at a convenience store, and then you're the one actually filming somebody freaking out, right? You might be driving down the street or just walking to,
oh my god.
You know,
nah, she did not see that shit coming.
That is no longer in service because nobody goes to malls anymore, and you're seeing this empty mall, and then you walk by somebody and they insult you to your face. Because it happens quite often, I would argue now more than ever. Right? It's hard to find just general safety and kindness in most places, even for strangers, and I would even argue your own friends and family. The line that used to divide real life and social media life is a lot less prominent, meaning these things are merging. If you even try to have real conversations with real people in real life, 9 times out of 10, they will bring up some sort of perspective, some ideology, some catastrophic global event in the real life conversation that they just saw on social media. And if you try to push further in these conversations, you will often reach a point or some sort of destination during the discussion where the person starts basically what you would call screaming their own position on a very controversial ideology, right? And then a debate and argument ensues. It almost feels like that is the kind of go-to when it comes to just making everyday regular conversation with people. You know, like for example, before 10, 15, even 20, in a little bit more than that years ago, it was actually taboo to bring up religion and politics in an everyday conversation, let alone the internet, right? Nowadays, that is the only thing to have conversations about. Politics, religion, and I guess social issues. I understand that there's a time and place for these topics, especially in the chaotic world of now, but I think it gets to a point where all of us reach this final point of complete exhaustion. How many times and how much longer can we discuss some controversial political event, ideology, or whatever else until we just lose our absolute empathy and compassion and our willingness to even have a discussion about these topics? I think a lot of us are finally reaching this point, and a lot of people, I guess what you would call normal people, sane people, are the ones that are generally deleting their social medias now, or at least if they have it, they're not spending 24/7 on it. And I think the most sane and normal people that are out there right now are refusing to have these discussions and interacting with others about these particular controversial topics, because if you've tried it, and I'm sure you have because I have, there's no use in trying to convince other people of anything these days. Because these days, the moment somebody sides with some ideology or their own perspective or their own beliefs, good luck. They're basically already in an entire echo chamber, a tunnel that just repeats the exact beliefs that they believe over and over and over and over again, like it's basically a hypnosis. A spiral that consistently sucks the viewer into that ideology more and more and more until if there's any contrasting beliefs or opinions, they're not going to listen to you. That's how it is now, right? It feels like to exist in today's world, you have to almost like hide yourself from all aspects of the external world just to maintain a sense of peace and sanity. You can call that being a monk or a nun, or I guess like a traditional religious figure that just lives on top of a mountain in a temple or a church and just basically spending most of your days meditating and avoiding society while they burn each other down. And I know that's a little dramatic, but that's literally happening right now in our world, physically, literally, but I think now more in a psychological manner, right? To open your phone and to open social media now is to witness the burning of our society and the tearing down of our soul and spirit. And then, you know, it does get to a point where you do want to do something, and you can argue that you have tried, and I definitely have tried throughout the years, and it just seems as if you just eventually reach this wall, because whoever believes what they believe, they're not going to change their mind. There's no use to try to convince, I guess, a collective of people that already have their minds made up and they refuse to accommodate or even to look at another perspective or to even just have a friendly and nice conversation with you, right? And all of this combined together, you can look at the economics, right? Inflation, everything costs like a ridiculous amount just to eat breakfast, right? To living in an actual apartment affordably, to whatever else, right? Political instability. It feels like almost every country all at once are literally imploding when it comes to how they manage their own countries, and these laws keep changing overnight that everybody just feels like they don't know what they're doing. Everybody's disoriented, everyone's confused, aka leading people to feel more irritated and absolutely fed up with everything, including themselves, right? And in the end, you might come across a video where it's telling you that you are the problem and the world is the problem at the same time, where you just literally want to throw your phone off the balcony, but you need your phone to get your DoorDash or Ubers to do practically anything in this world. So, to take a deep breath, basically, at this point, whatever era or whatever chapter that we're currently in, it's obviously some sort of transitional period. but it doesn't exactly feel like it's a transition to something more positive. It feels like things are devolving into something more negative.
POV, the average competitive game in Overwatch.
I can only hope that things are moving towards something more positive, but right now it feels like we're basically in the eye of the hurricane. I don't know if that metaphor exactly works, but we're more so in a tornado, and we're really trying our best to literally stay on the ground, where everything around us seems to be going up into the sky, and we're just trying to sidestep this cyclone as much as we can, which inevitably will lead us all to absolute exhaustion. I think part of the exhaustion and the fatigue is the idea that a lot of us don't exactly have a clear answer of what we can do in this time period, right?
To my will.
For a long period of time, all throughout human history, we've gone through crazy, catastrophic events, right? And most of the time, there was more so kind of, I guess, a clearer answer in terms of who our friends are, who our family are, who we are, and what we should do to basically push through hard times. What separates this current time period from all of those previous periods is that right now, there doesn't seem to be a clear answer. We are entering a new frontier that humanity has literally never entered before. And I know you hate to hear these words, but AI, right? AI and tech, right? We can even leave AI out of the equation, but you can't, because data centers popping up everywhere. Everyone is overinflating AI, can't stop talking about it. Tech oligarchs basically have bought and sold the entire world. And the rest of us, the 95% of us left on Earth, are not being, I guess, treated very kindly, and are having a very hard time just being able to survive at a baseline level, let alone just having a position in our own lives and society itself where it could give us some sort of, I guess, optimism and motivation to try to better whatever conditions that we're in. This is the first time that humanity forever has ever had smartphones, has ever had computers, social media, and let alone even the abstract concept of artificial intelligence. This is the first time tech oligarchs have existed as our species. So naturally, in this new frontier, the only thing that we can potentially look to for potential answers are what? Science fiction novels and movies? And those are all fiction. But the more and more time comes on, or goes on, it feels like we are literally living out a fictional novel. Call it 1984, right? Brave New World. The list goes on. Blade Runner, Matrix, and whatever else. And now the Terminator. And these movies were not only just supposed to be a form of entertainment, but potentially even a warning to what our world can eventually devolve to if these things just kind of go out of hand. And a lot of these novels are generally not leading to a very optimistic place. And as more and more time goes on and we see how society is developing and the technology is and how we treat each other, it doesn't seem to be, I guess, evolving to anything more positive either. So naturally, I think those who, I guess, have, a brain in their head and are more potentially sane individuals and want to do better for the world and themselves, the people that generally want the world to become a better place, I think a lot of them, I guess I could be included in those people that want a more optimistic outcome in our society. A lot of us feel very defeated, that we don't really know what we can do. And we have potentially tried in the past in whatever way that we can. And more as time goes on, I think a lot of us are mistreated, we are unheard, and the world continues to spiral out of control into a much more of a negative place. So generally, a lot of us in the end, we end up just giving up, feeling absolutely defeated and exhausted and almost hopeless in terms of our viewpoint of where humanity can go and our lives can go and where our friends and family will go. Because I can I have seen many videos now, and I've talked to people in real life where they've basically cut off their own parents and friends and relatives because that older generation is completely unwilling to even help or even just understand at an emotional, psychological level of what younger generations have to go through. I don't exactly want to impose more of a generational war because, you know, there's gender wars now and generational wars and stuff, but it's hard not to feel absolutely frustrated and confrontational when it comes to speaking with potentially a generation that basically allowed this current iteration of society to come to be, you know? And obviously pointing the finger at what a minority group here, an ethnic group here, a religious group here, or a what generational group here, a gender here, if we're all pointing the fingers across the field at each other, eventually you can conclude that maybe it's all of our fault, right? It would be very convenient that we can absolve our own positioning in terms of what we can do in our current situations, but in the end, we're all a part of this collective mass called humanity. And I would love to kind of be able to heal the world, and we all kind of like, you know, sing kumbaya under one human race, the human species, right? But you know, if you've played Fallout, which is a game about the apocalypse, basically, there's a quote in that game, and that is war. War never changes, right? Is that the right quote? But basically, we have a natural ability to make our everyday lives confrontation and oppositional, and we have kind of a thirst for combat. Because ultimately we are what, just kind of evolved primates, and for our species to survive over decades and decades and decades of being alive, we've only gotten here through just sheer survival and violence. And I think what's kind of frustrating now is that somehow we evolved past being just primates, and we're supposed to be these advanced technological species that have outgrown our primitive desires. But as more and more technology evolves and society is supposed to evolve, we're now just reverting all the way back to our violent primitive tendencies. But now the toys and our weapons just got a lot more shinier, and they're a lot more dangerous than ever. You can argue that a nuke, right, is probably one of the strongest types of weapons that humans have ever created. But right now it's even more insidious because it's psychological weapons, right? Even you can argue that the thing that you're watching me on right now is considered a weapon. Look at how a younger generation is feeling mentally because they grew up with these smartphones and tech, right? You can argue that is a literal weapon and attack on the psyche of a human being, and it goes beyond even a younger generation. I would argue that anybody of any age is affected with this tech, and most of the time it's not positive at all. There are potentially positive outlets to use it, but in a general sense, collectively, it seems like this potential weapon, the social media, the digital stuff, whatever else, seems to be leading us further and further down a path of, I guess, negativity and consequence. So obviously that's a lot to take in, and I don't exactly want to be a purveyor of darkness and doom and gloom that we're all already feeling, because I don't need to remind you of how bad the world is, right? Because there's so much already out there. But when the world seems to continuously propagate more and more events of this nature, it becomes very hard to not look at it, to not talk about it. And it almost feels like, I don't know, morally incorrect to completely ignore those things just so we can look at the positive, like, oh, at least the sun's shining, right? I would argue that we all kind of need a balance of that. You know, we do need days where we don't look at the horrors of the world, and you can argue for an extended period of time, just to enjoy the sunlight, right? And just to have like a friendly, nice, humorous, funny conversation with somebody that we know, to laugh a bit, to have, I guess, a bit of a lighthearted exchange with people in our lives, and meeting strangers in the nicest way we can, and Hopefully we can enjoy entertainment, movies, and music in the way that we used to, but these days, because we're all so exhausted and fatigued, and the stuff that's being created, and the simultaneous chaos that seems to envelop our world all at once, it gets harder and harder to be able to appreciate life in the most simplest of ways. And I find it really frustrating that we have to work so hard in this day and age just to have a moment of peace, serenity, happiness, connection, laughter, and fun. Like, me even just saying that, I'm pretty sure a part of you cringed at the idea of laughter and fun, right? There's a period in time in modern history and pop culture where having fun, a funny comedy movie, right? Just going to movies and listening to music purely for connection and entertainment was the norm. The general attitude of us as a whole was generally friendliness. Hey, how's it going? Doing good. You? That used to be normal. I think before, more so in, I guess, recent modern times, the general collective mood and entertainment and media and how we interacted with each other was generally more leaning towards optimistic and more friendly and better and positive. But right now, it feels like we have to work so hard just to, first of all, have our baseline survival needs met. We have to work so hard to just have a simple, nice, friendly, insightful, deep conversation with someone that likes us and we like them. It feels like we have to work so hard to scroll across social media, YouTube, Instagram, and all these platforms just to be in a little pocket that makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves in the world. It feels like we have to work so hard in every single aspect of our lives just to maintain the most minuscule point of sanity. Why is it this hard? Why is it so hard to just have a little bit of relief in today's world? We practically have everything. We have a surplus of everything. The fact that you can see me right now and like they're without any delay at all. We have unlimited resources, but yes, we still can't equally share these resources with each other. It's very hard to make sense of. And I think anybody living in this current state of the world will agree. It really doesn't matter what gender you are, what age you are, what country you're from, what culture you're from. All of us are feeling the same type of exhaustion. Because ultimately, we all just kind of want the same thing in the end, right? We all want to feel connected. We want to feel loved. We want to have fun. We want to laugh. We don't want to feel stressed out. We don't want to feel exhausted. We want to feel good. We want to feel motivated. We want to have a purpose, right? All of these things are so simple, technically, right? But in our current state of whatever iteration of humanity we're in, it seems more complicated and harder than ever. And I think this is exactly the reason why all of us are feeling so absolutely exhausted of everything all at the same time. We're all trying to hold on to this roller coaster that was once fun for a bit, but now can't get off the roller coaster, and now we're beginning to feel absolutely sick and nauseous of whatever roller coaster we didn't even sign up to be a part of, right? There were moments of fun, there were moments of enjoyment, but after a certain point, a roller coaster just gets absolutely sickening to be a part of. And now we're at this pivotal point in human evolution, I guess. And I wish I could genuinely believe and say that I believe in us as a species, and we should all work together and love each other and enjoy ourselves and try to help each other, and we're going to evolve to something more positive in the end. But ultimately, that is not my decision. Ultimately, that is not my decision. Is it your decision? Maybe it's all of our decision, right? Unfortunately, the power seems to be imbalanced, and what we can do about that, I wish I had an answer for, right? And I do believe there have been people in the past to come out of the ashes to kind of guide us and show us that there's a better way to live amongst each other, but I can only hope that whatever we're all in right now, we end up in a better place. So, if you're feeling exhausted, you're not the only one. I guess the only potential temporary solution right now is to just find whatever you can in your own personal life that gives you just a bit of relief, a bit of hope, a bit of purpose, and a bit of optimism just to hold on to, because let me tell you, we're in for a ride. But I would love to hear your comments below. My name is Pierre. Welcome to Into the Ether. Until next time.
No, I wanted to get picked up.
I've lost interest in everything, and I don't think I'm the only one, like this guy over here.
Lost interest in everything. I really used to love my life. Movies, music, going out, talking with friends, all of it. Now, I really don't feel anything.
Well, that's an incredibly optimistic intro, isn't it? And unfortunately, I actually agree with him. I don't know if this is some low-level numbness or depression that I just got used to, like pretty much everybody feels the same these days. But it's hard to tell exactly why, so let's keep going.
I don't know when I talk caring. I think others feel the same way. I think we're talking about. And for me, one, entertainment feels like it's completely dead. You know, I used to love TV shows. Lost, Prison Break, Breaking Bad. There's so many good shows that you can get into and really get into the characters. It was just a really good form of entertainment. I enjoyed spending my time watching good shows and good movies. But nowadays, it just doesn't seem like anything's worth watching.
I hate to agree, but it's true. If you try to watch any form of entertainment these days, whether it's TV shows, movies, even YouTube videos, or just scrolling on your phone, it's hard to actually admit that anything that we watch now is legitimately entertaining. I feel like it kind of just gives you some background noise and just kind of passes time. But in terms of actual entertainment, something that you can connect to, laugh to, get some real enjoyment out of, I think a lot of people would agree that anything that's out these days in terms of visual media, we're not actually entertained. It just kind of passes time, right? Back then, I guess it would be, what, like 10 years ago, which is actually not that long. TV shows and movies and anything that you can kind of watch were legitimately entertaining. They were generally well written, the cinematography was great, the pacing was good, and the overall plot and character development was interesting enough that you would actually sit through an entire, 12-episode series of an actual TV series, right? It's hard to even remember the last time I actually sat through an entire series of a show, let alone a full-blown movie. These days, it feels like sitting through an entire 2.5-hour movie is like an actual chore or an accomplishment.
I can't seem to get into anything. I've tried starting shows and I just can't finish it. I don't even have the interest in putting movies on nowadays. I mean, dedicating 2 hours for a movie seems insane. I'm just not able to do it. I really just watch YouTube now, and I don't know if it's just watching the variety of it or being able to just watch so much short form and not dedicate my time
short form
to like a full 2-hour movie.
Honestly, so far, this is very relatable in like the bleakest way ever, but it's completely true because most movies now, for some reason, are at least 2.5 hours, let alone 3 hours. I don't know who chose the current watch time for full-length feature films, because back then, movies were generally not even going beyond an hour and 20 minutes, and generally they were a lot more engaging because they weren't so, what you say, convoluted or drawn out for no reason, and it kind of forced the editors and writers themselves to actually kind of pace things correctly and put what's actually necessary to move the actual movie along. To be honest, it's actually kind of amazing how you can actually make an entire 3-hour film and still have barely any character development. But that aside, I think most people generally just stick to YouTube in terms of visual media and entertainment. And these days on YouTube, you can even include my channel. Like, it's not necessarily the most engaging, but it's easy to digest. And I think that's kind of the current, viewer diet and preference for most people these days, because I think we're all absolutely so exhausted and we've all kind of lost interest in everything that we kind of just stick to the most easily digestible and accessible and convenient types of content. Something to kind of just play in the back while you're, working your underpaid remote job or washing dishes. And unfortunately, because of that ease of access, the actual quality of the media itself isn't necessarily the most exciting or engaging.
I I found that going out just doesn't make sense anymore. I have no interest in it. I don't have any interest in going to bars. That just seems like so much work and effort for nothing. I don't have any interest in going out to restaurants anymore. Everything costs so much money. And a big difference for me is that I think customer service has went downhill tremendously. So, you know, you go to a restaurant, the food's already very expensive. Everybody wants a 20 to 25% tip now, or don't even come to the restaurant to say. The food is subpar nowadays, and the service is completely gone.
Woo!
You're
I fucking killed his ass!
And
God, but you see that shit coming, didn't you? Ooh.
They're very bland, big boxes with chairs and tables put in.
So that
everything feels the same. Really bland, colorless, unexciting. And why would I go to that place and spend my time there and then spend my money to be there? I just don't.
To my will.
The soullessness of late-stage capitalism and enshittification. You gotta love how universal it is. At least the monoculture is existing somehow in some way. Oh my god, is all of this bleak, but I don't mean to laugh at his despair. If anything, my laughter is my actual relation to how he's feeling, because these days, when you go to any type of restaurant or any type of public setting in general, it is absolutely soulless. The color has kind of left all physical spaces. Malls are completely dead and they're complete ghost towns. All of the stores that used to be in malls are completely run out of business. And lastly, when it comes to actual dining in a physical restaurant these days, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it anymore. I'm not going to repeat everything he said, but in summary, the complete color and atmosphere and liveliness of an actual restaurant is completely gone. Everything is completely overpriced on top of that, and then you're forced to even tip an extra 25%. Meanwhile, the waiters and the waitresses are absolutely sick of their lives, and they're not getting paid enough because for some reason in America, they don't actually pay waiters and waitresses livable wages. They just let them collect tips and then deduct that out of their actual paycheck. I don't know how that works. But I even empathize with the actual food service workers too, because like their restaurants are pretty much empty these days, and the customers that actually dine at the restaurants aren't treating the waiters and staff the nicest way ever as well, right? So overall, if you want to go to an actual physical restaurant, just expect a terrible attitude all around. And don't get me started about the actual food itself, right? Because now every restaurant has to cut corners. The chefs and the cooks themselves don't want to be there either. They just want to get whatever done in the fastest way possible with the cheapest frozen ingredients. And everything is inflated like 3x the cost as opposed to what, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, right? So in the end, you're driving 20 minutes to an actual restaurant to get sneered and scoffed at by the hostess and the food staff. Then you're paying 4x the usual amount, and there is no atmosphere, and everybody hates their lives there. And by the end of it, you have to add an additional 25% tip, or they will also scream at you as well. And then if you're extra lucky, by the end of it, you end up with dysentery, or let's just say a stomach issue from the frozen chicken that they forgot to throw out. Of course, that's not all restaurants, and I'm sure there are many restaurants that are actually trying to provide a good atmosphere and good service, but in general, these days, in this economy and late-stage capitalist culture, going out to an actual restaurant just seems like a net loss on all fronts.
It feels like time's broken these days. Everything blurs together, and I have a hard time finding time where I want to take an interest that I might have and actually get into something. Because I don't have any interest in doing things that are interesting. It just seems like such an amount of effort to do anything. It just isn't worth a lot of my time. It's essentially how I feel about that and word it properly. And I think our phones are a big hindrance and reason why that's happening.
Bruh, I'm trying my best not to chuckle and laugh at the situation because he looks absolutely dead behind the eyes, but I'm only laughing because I actually relate completely to how he's feeling. I could mask it a little bit more because, you know, I'm trying to run like a show, an entertainment platform here on YouTube, but in general, off camera, most of these days, I have the same 1,000-yard stare just looking into the lack of future that exists now. But it's so true. Like, I have lost so much interest in things that I used to be interested in. And generally, almost every year, I generally pick up some random new hobby and I I just have this natural inclination to try to improve in it, and I have like kind of like what you would call a hyper obsession for a period of time. But for the last few years, I haven't felt the need to actually find anything that would interest me. And even if I try to do it or try to go back into an old hobby, it's just really not as fun anymore. And if anything, while I'm trying to do it or I think about it, I just automatically throw it out the window and just think to myself, what is the point? And before, I don't think I ever had that attitude when it came to approaching maybe a new hobby or something like that. There was a natural enjoyment in terms of doing that thing, whether it's learning to play a new instrument or maybe learning how to dance or even playing video games or watching a series or maybe something as random as learning to self-remix key, right? For some reason, it naturally just felt way more enjoyable trying to learn the thing and then improving at it. But these days, I think it's maybe because of some weird dopamine situation from all of the phone usage, and we're all kind of burnt out and fried, where any of these type of activities just don't pump the same chemicals as they once did. The real question is it just a result of getting older, or is it the current culture that we're living in, or are we all literally just depressed, numbed, and burnt out because of everything that's happening, or is it a combination of everything? Like these days, it's hard to even find the time to do the interest, but most importantly, like he said, it's hard to be even interested in doing anything interesting. Bro, there has to be a solution to this, I swear.
And I think our phones are a big hindrance and reason why that's happening, because I know personally, like if I'm going to think of getting involved into something that's going to take a couple hours of my time, it's going to take effort, it's going to get everything set up. By the time I've thought about it all, next thing you know, I'm on my phone and 30 minutes have elapsed. And maybe I thought about doing something at 2 p.m., but now it's closer to 3. And then I'll just say to myself, like, I'm going to get up in a couple minutes. And the next thing you know, another hour has passed on my phone. And it's really starting to make every day feel like it's the same. And I think it's kind of exacerbating my lack of interest in everything.
The more time goes on, it's really hard to not agree that the phones are literally the source of all of our issues at this point. Has it made certain things super convenient and streamlined and easier? Sure, but that easiness and ease of convenience is literally the problem for everything else as well. It feels like back then, because we didn't have the phones, certain things were actually a lot more difficult to do, especially accessing entertainment. But that
swear to God, no?
Actually added to the enjoyment of the entertainment in the end, right? Because in most things, back then, you actually had to work to go to the place and then maybe sit in a movie theater or actually buy your own sports equipment into the park or whatever else. But the phones, they are just too convenient. They are the size of our palms, always in our pocket, making random sounds all of the time that force you to check it. And the moment that you check it, because all of these social media platforms are literally physically engineered to hook you for extended periods of time, such as the invention of the endless scroll, our brains cannot resist that level of novelty and convenience. It's very hard to convince your own brain to purposefully put yourself in inconvenient situations with heavy friction, right? Like, for example, like I would personally really enjoy getting into vinyl records because I've been a musician for practically all my life, and I know a lot about music, and I enjoy instrumentation and blah, 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 blah. The actual practice of getting into vinyl records actually has a huge barrier to entry, because the whole hobby is extremely expensive. A vinyl record now is probably, what, $40 to $50, maybe even more. You have to get a decent actual record player, and then speakers that hook up to that, and then you actually play the record, and you can only just play it in full, basically, right? So half of the album, you start from the beginning to the end. It's a lot more difficult to choose a specific song, and then when that half the album is done, you have to get up and actually flip the record over and listen to the rest, right? But those things are the very things that actually make that hobby interesting, right? All of that friction and seeing the cover art in a giant vinyl record sleeve and listening to it from wax, I guess, and the entire practice is almost meditative because you have to be engaged in the actual process. But oh my god, is that inconvenient, right? Because in the end, you have all of the music in the palm of your hands from a platform that never pays their artists. Sorry, they do pay their artists about 0.003 cents a song, a stream, sorry. But that exactly is the friction of our current stage of the world, right? It's too easy to access any form of mindless entertainment just by opening our phone, and then that convenience steers us away from potential hobbies or entertainment that we actually might enjoy in the end.
Trying to do one web page to the next on Facebook, on the marketplace, thinking about something that I like, researching something. I'm doing so much. So it feels
This guy is super good. His channel is called Outside the Order, and obviously it's not the most optimistic content. It's quite bleak and depressive, but oh my god, is it real? If you can't relate to anything he's saying right here, then I would love to be in your world. But anybody in this current stage of the world, I'm pretty sure a majority of us can kind of feel this same type of state. It's such a weird paradox to live in today's world where we have all of the information and options and entertainment and media at the palm of our hands, but yet we do not care about any of it. Like, we half care about it these days, because I think these days people are probably more interested in like hyper specific topics and I guess academic intellectual content, and then hyper niche fashion and hobbies in general, right? But by the end of it, right, we can research this specific topic for half of a day, or we can get into this new hobby for the next month. But by the end of it, we have all of this new information just floating around in our brains, but it feels completely counterproductive by the end of the day. It feels absolutely unproductive to sometimes sit through one of these highly edited video essays about this super specific incident that happened in 1731 by this guy that you can't even pronounce the name of, and you just learned the history of what, hand washing? It might make us feel somewhat smart by the end of the video, but at the end of it, we can't help to also feel like completely unproductive, right? Because what was the point of learning any of that, right?
It's like I'm caught in this cycle right now of not wanting to do anything and then defaulting to go onto my phone, but then that ultimately makes me feel worse. Because when I spend 2 hours on my phone and I finish, it's like I don't even know where I am sometimes. I have no idea what's happening in the room. You know, I have to sometimes really think, like, what's going on right now? Like, what time is it? Is it lunchtime? Is it dinner? What's going on? And I don't think that's healthy at all, because that just means that I'm not present at all.
Completely relatable, unfortunately, as well. And I have a feeling like, what, in 10 to 20 years, there will be a general understanding about doom scrolling. And maybe by then there will be some law to kind of prohibit this form of social media that will ban endless scrolls, because, you know, back then, like, cigarettes were super healthy for you back then, right? And then everybody ended up with lung cancer and tuberculosis and coughing their lungs out, and everyone's now like, oh, that's kind of bad for you. Except if you're in Europe, they're still heavy on that. But maybe one day in a decade or two, we're gonna look back at this time and just absolutely see with clear eyes how absolutely terrible it is all of this endless doom scrolling and social media infrastructure is, right? Because these days now they're finally passing laws to ban social media for kids under the age of 16. And like he said, I'm pretty sure we've all been there, whether we wanted to or not, either right before bed or early in the morning, where you have nothing to do, you're trying to wind down, so you look at your phone, you open up just one app, and by the first 7 seconds of a reel, all of a sudden you teleport to 2 hours later and you're already neck deep in mindless consumption of the doom scroll, right? And then when you finally stop, not only are you wired and slightly traumatized from the random true crime stuff that you didn't even choose yourself, you don't even know who you are, where you are, and you don't know what you just did for the last 2 hours, and you can't even remember a single reel that you watched during that time. I think I just saw not too long ago that they did a study that actual dementia that generally affects seniors and elders, traits of real early dementia are actually showing up on people what, I guess, my age and around that age range because of this doom scrolling. It's literally rotting our brains. And I think we're all kind of in this similar situation right now where we're all reaching this limit and threshold of exhaustion and numbness when it comes to consuming media on social media. But we don't exactly have a better option in this time because it's too convenient, and there are some decent things to watch, but most of it is
Hey, yo,
not
shrimp
that
sticks.
great, but it also is better than the current music on the radio and the movies in the theaters, right? This transition period is not really offering anything of quality, but normally as humans as we are, we have to fill our boredom with something, right? So unfortunately, the only solution to combat this, I guess, losing interest in everything is to consciously limit our convenience and options when it comes to mindlessly consuming and completely destroying our dopamine and serotonin receptors, right? But that is so much easier said than done. I mean, how many videos have you seen about watching, I quit social media for a year and I went on a dopamine detox? And then, by the end of that video, the person had to end up editing that video to make a video about quitting social media. So it's nearly impossible to fully get rid of this stuff because the people talking about quitting social media have to post videos on quitting social media. I'm guilty of that as well. It seems like the only way is to consciously limit ourselves and almost live like a nearly monkish lifestyle, which, let's be real, honestly, live like this in this current modern age, right? And we can only hope that there will be an alternative or some other lifestyle choice or cultural shift so that ends up moving us to, I guess, a more positive route in the end. So what do you think? Have you lost interest in everything? Have you found a solution to gain interest in everything? I would love to hear it, so comment below. Welcome to Into the Ether. My name is Pierre. Until next time.
We have company.
Have you felt unusually mad, irritated, or just plain pissed off almost all of the time these days? And you can't exactly figure out why, but you just know that you feel it. Well, I kind of have been in the same position for an extended period of time as well. I don't think I'm the only one. In our current time period, in our collective society, I feel like there's a general energy and zeitgeist in the air that just screams irritation. Like we're constantly mad, on edge, or just pissed off at everyone and everything. And then by the end of the day, we kind of just have to swallow it all and just hold it in or just go on some social media rant like you're watching right now. And I've been really thinking about this notion because I generally do believe there has been a collective vibe shift, emotional shift, I guess ever since 2020, ever since that happened. And I don't think we've actually recovered even until now. So I sat back and thought, am I just becoming overwhelmed almost like everybody else these days? But younger generations also feel it. They're also collectively numbed out, irritated, and pissed off almost all the time. And I had to really sit down and think very carefully of, is this just my personal life, emotions, and brain? Do I need to go to therapy? Do I need to dive more into self-help to read the same thing over and over and then nothing gets resolved? Well, I've sat with it enough on social media and off of social media to actually kind of come to a conclusion. And the conclusion is, I think everything now is designed to piss you off. Like, think about it. Back in the day, what I mean by back in the day is what, 30 years ago, in the 2000s, and of course every decade before then, when you thought about movies and pop culture and music, do you automatically think, I'm mad? It pisses me off to actually think about that. No, every other decade had some sort of music movement, movies, and pop culture that generally gave you something in return that was positive, right? The only reason why people actually showed up to the movies with their family and friends was because they wanted to have a good experience together. Why you would choose to go to a concert doesn't even matter who it is so you can have a good experience. Even if you're seeing a band or an artist that's screaming into the microphone, whether it's nu metal, punk, rock, or anything else, you came there with your friends or you met new ones so you could scream together in righteous fury together, right? Think about the type of entertainment and content that floods our feeds every single day on our phone, on our TV, and anything that has speakers and a screen. Everything now almost feels like it's absolutely intentionally designed to make you angry. For the easiest example, like the current state of influencer culture, right? Either you have a bunch of people going on the shopping hauls and paying and spending ridiculous amounts of money on stuff that actually nobody cares about, but it pisses people off. Maybe it's another sub-niche of beautiful people telling you how to look beautiful and you don't look good enough, so you should look smacks and look better, right? Or constantly kind of telling you that you're not enough in a lot of ways. And even then, the content that tells you how to be good enough also is done in a way that's very condescending and lecturing, which, in my opinion, is quite irritating. But let's go to even, for example, the current state of social media pranks, right? Everybody has those little, what do you call, Ray-Ban meta glasses that carry this camera. And what's the first thing that people do? Harass others in public, right? I'm guilty of watching all of these too because they are, what do you say, mindlessly entertaining as well. But oftentimes it is some kid or even grown adults now that wear these Ray-Bans, go out in public, and then just make an absolute nuisance of themselves, irritating people, throwing gallons of milk on the floor, trying to piss people off. And in return, they post it on social media to piss off a bunch of strangers online. And then in return, you have a bunch of strangers in the comments writing comments to piss other strangers off, which inevitably becomes this endless Ferris wheel, this endless treadmill of absolute anger with everybody involved, from the influencer themselves in real life to the people that they're pranking, to the strangers online observing and consuming it, and then the conversations within the comment section are purposefully aimed just to infuriate each other. Why? You probably know why. Because obviously, this is common knowledge now, anger, irritation, and negative emotions in general are the #1 emotions to basically breed engagement. The #1 thing that makes people want to watch something or comment on it or even share it is stuff that pisses people off. There was a period of time, and it still happens, but not to the extent that anger does, where sending something funny, some cat, you know, playing with a laser pointer, or, you know, just really dumb skits in general. We used to send those things to each other. Now we send reels about the end of the world. Everybody does it now, and it shows in the numbers. Any content creator will even tell you. People that aren't even content creators that just go on social media and post, they will actually also agree. The stuff that generally gets the most clicks are things that kind of make you mad. Even if the content itself isn't really even aimed to make you mad, right? Like, for example, like what? Attractive people on social media. That generally does piss people off. Even though they're pretty, they have an amazing body, or they, you know, whatever. Generally, the emotion that stirs to a lot of people is some sort of jealousy, envy, or just plain hatred from both genders, right? I wanted to try to figure out what is the current state of the world and why are we constantly feeling like this? This is just about, what, social media content and influencers, but I would argue that this goes even further. So let's just ignore dumb social media influencers even for a second, because they're impossible to ignore. Let's go to what? Mainstream media. Let's go to professional media outlets in general. What do they choose to report on? Generally, it's not stuff that makes you feel really good about yourself, the world, people in general. It's stuff that's written with a specific headline that makes you feel, oh my god, another end of the world event happening now. Oh my god, everyone's dying from a heat wave. Oh my god, people don't want to get AC. Those are just current event examples. But in general, you'll hear about a war, you'll hear about a shooting, you'll hear about a robbery, you'll hear about what's really popular now is blaming an ethnic group for the world's issues. But surprise, surprise, humans are the problem. You can subdivide every type of person or group you want, but generally we are kind of the issue. And that's just for what? Professional mainstream media. We've kind of already known that. When we went to social media before, it was to actually get a form of entertainment that stayed away from Hollywood and whatever corporate news outlets are there, because that stuff generally is not that entertaining and it doesn't really make you feel good. So before, we actually just watched normal, you know, bedroom YouTubers and whatever else you can call it. Now, all of that is being bought out and everybody's just kind of doing the same thing. Corporate media is trying to act like influencers. Influencers are now trying to act like corporate media, right? Because honestly, content kind of just barreled and funneled into just one singularity now, where everybody is kind of doing the exact same thing as the next person. Potentially, I was going to say with a different face, but everyone's beginning to look the same too. But I've seen many famous YouTubers and Instagrammers and social media personalities that just go straight now into politics. And I essentially a relatable news reporter, right? You can argue that I'm one now, but a lot of what OG YouTubers and people, they generally just end up pivoting to politics because it gets the most engagement and it is about the current state of the world, where before, you would just turn on the TV and just watch some propaganda, but now what do you call the relatable YouTubers themselves are kind of being some variation on propaganda themselves without even realizing it, to be honest. And again, the topic is about irritation and anger. Like, nobody's going to click on some video about a guy covering a new bill, a new law that passed for a new sidewalk in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Like, no one's gonna care, but they will cover what a data center blowing up the world.
She up on mine. We phone call. She said,
Actuating the barrier.
Girl, I'm so seeing low, not a pussy blank, big mom. No boring shit. I don't wait Reese's, I got pieces. I'm trying to eradicate the niggas that stick me around in the press. I got reasons. For an actress, pouring like Katniss. Baby, no money, if you knew how Katniss is so chapped, and I make them look assless. It's sticky like barbecue sauce. T shiny, they calling me Jaws. Got 100K cash in the wall. Fuck your gym to protect them dolls. She up on mine. We punk off. She said, girl, I'm so. She up on mine. We crunk off. She said, girl, I'm so. Now I'm flexing up on my ass. I can tell that bitch real praise when she see me up with my upgrade. I'm on Ariana shit, thank you next. Every time I get up, get my brother, make some cheddar. I'm trying to better my life. Party tardy for a party out in Abu Dhabi, that's a regular night. It's sticky like barbecue sauce. Keep shiny, they calling me Jaws. Got 100K cash in the wall. Fuck your gym to protect them dolls. She up on mine. We crunk off. She said, girl, I'm so. She up on mine. We crunk off. She said, girl, I'm so you. Cutting line for the rhythm. Chew on your tongue like a dog going sick. Hardwood floors, high heels on the table. That's my part-time angel. Said, do you get down? Tell me what you about. 'Cause tonight we going round and round and round and round and round. Just let it go. Don't sell your soul. Just take it slow. Don't sell your soul. Hands on the ball, reach your mind like a crystal. Eyes on the prize, take them down like my name on the list? Right. Everything checks out. Let me inside. Gonna make a little call. Why? There's nobody.
Man, there's nothing in Lake Alfred. That's it. Can't say that word.
Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door, I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door.
Hey there. Hi. Have you ever thought of quitting? Sorry about that. Let's just start from the beginning. Here's my card and my form. Why was I outside the building? Oh yeah, I was at my job making a killing. It's kinda silly to focus on my voice and shape. Call me the tenant from heaven, cause I'm a patron saint. I've been so nice and so kind to my neighbors. Now if you could do me this one damn favor. My, you got a lot of questions, but I guess I won't mind. I'm kind of in a rush and it's a waste of time to ask me things over and over to see if I slip up. Just open the door first. I just think that we should reach out with a helping hand. Doppelgangers all around, why all the rapper man? Nowadays everybody running while I still can. Meanwhile I'm working harder than the milkman. See my name on the list? Right. Everything checks out? Let me inside. Gonna make a little call. Why? There's nobody. Hello? Fuck.
I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door. I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door.
There's danger at your doorstep, and only you can prevent what's in store. Now, to identify an imposter, all you have to do.
Fuck that.
I'ma switch up the vision to mission to trip up the vision. Condition is slipping every time I get a little closer to winning. It's starting to down the shape of my mouth to figure you out. I get another face and come back around.
Endless, another couple tries, you'll be defenseless. Fall for my life, can't comprehend this. So call for backup, I'll come back. You let me in, watch the bodies stack up. See my name on the list?
Right.
Everything checks out?
Let me inside.
Wait, we're good? Really?
Finally!
Fuck! I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door. I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door. I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door. I really need to get into the building. Don't wanna wait anymore. Everyone out here is dying again. So if you could open the door.
He don't love me. He don't want me. I just use him for his body. Yeah. Oh, he a gigolo.
Every time I need a max on the root bet, you bet I'ma hit the chick for a new check. Falling on my mind out in Phuket, few keg, got me cooking up like a cruise set. Every other week we on a cute trip, cute shit. Say I want a boat, I got a cruise ship. Never feeling blue and throwing blue strips, blue fit, chewing blue chew. I'm about blue chips. Getting valeted in a whip. Mama take me to the store and she bought me a picture. Eating caviar off a strip, told me put her on her tab if I'm giving her the tip. This the pretty boy anthem. If you tall, sexy, handsome, you a certified gigolo. Yes I do. Yes I do. Yeah, I'm on my pretty boy shit. Certified gigolo. I'm a trust fund, baby, no money. Better call me by my name like I'm Lil Nas X. In the green light district, I'm a young male mistress making racks every time I have sex. I call her Dwayne, she rocking on my Johnson. No safe words, she ain't giving me no option. I play the long game, think it's time to lock in. Throw me in her will, so I'm picking out her coffin. Yeah, I'm rich now. Even bad bitches ain't getting discounts. She wanna freak off, made me raise an eyebrow. Shit, every city that I go, turn a pound. This the pretty boy anthem. If you tall, sexy, handsome, you a certified gigolo. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm on my pretty boy shit.
Good job. You're so good.
Damn, I'm a certified gigolo.
It almost feels like it's not working. I don't understand why I'm being so materialistic. All of my feelings,
It's hard.
everyone's sexualized.
We're gonna go for a ride, yeah.
It's the Queen Sleaze. 9 months motherfucking pregnant, like what?
I'm booed.
Sada, what up?
Bang, bang,
Detroit. Oh, little nigga wanna try it. I told him feel erotic. He a freak like Giannis. To be honest, I hope one day we do a play date with Adonis. Oh, I buy my cake, get your bacon out. You don't want that real smoke, get your vaping on. Egg whites, turkey bacon now. Ain't in a restaurant, but I'm the bitch they been waiting on. Gotta pop tags. Bitches starting in them hammer-down bags. It's sad. Burberry plaid. You in that drip that I already had. They wanna see you do your dance. Do that thing, poke out them pants. If it don't, then I got plans. Just got a summertime tan. Man, we just putting dollars on your head. Niggas violating the gang, gon' end up dead. Lady in the street, but a freak hoe in the bed. Chopper on them, that's my shooter in the red. Little nigga can't keep my pussy out his hands. Fuck a last minute, gotta book me in advance. Been a bad girl and I'm trying to get spanked. Pretty little body, but my face looks stank. I be in a truck that cost your whole house. Bitches in my tip, man, but don't come close. If you wanna celebrate the best, then come toast. Bitches ain't saying nothing but doing the utmost. Heard he wanna chew on my edible panties. Even when I tell him see you tomorrow, he can't leave. Got the off-white sneakers, rocking a tan weave. When I come, I grab Simba, it's the stampede.
Little bitch won't ride it. Told the bitch don't get out her body. Get right beside me. I'ma get in that thing, get it sliding. This bitch making me feel erotic. She gotta get on this rocket. I don't give a fuck about her mileage. And her grandma related to the whinings. Ooh, that's the shit that I like. You a church girl, bitch, you like Christ. You ain't never had probably least not this kind. I'ma fuck you all night off a perk. Off a perk pack. Yeah, leave bitch with the hurt back. Work. Where the work at? My young niggas waking up to serve. They wanna see me do my dance in these $1,000 pants. Don't disrespect me and my mans. Baby, whole lot of choppers on your ass. Scram, we just putting dollars on your head. Snitching ass nigga ass mama to the feds. Little brother, big brother, Sally got the dress. DZ, DT, Sally keep the bands. Little bitch can't keep her pussy on my hands. Got a real hood rat sookie on my hands. Whole stack of blues rolling cookies on their ass. I be in the bay rolling cookies on their ass. I be in the nutters, G weed got me as bust. Cause Sally can't be jealous of weed, I'm never stressed. I see the booty from the bottom, that thing a double decker. Let my white boy shoot on that thing, you Sam Decker. Heard you chew on that thing, Hannibal Lecter. I be popping all the pills like Heath Ledger. These drugs ain't the joke, my nigga, I'm just telling. Your manager got you on the shelf and he's selling. They wanna see me do my dance in these $1,000 pants. Don't disrespect me and my mans. Baby, whole lot of chops on your ass.
What the fuck is that? Right there. Cool. Alright. Anything yet?
Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the brother, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, never drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a party that's a no.
Just pop the Kenny about a million options. So the stock and I stop doing the agreement. I'm rock arenas, bringing the peace. I'm bumping that pot in the car, pretending I got all the eyes on me. Got a bad baby if she's independent. So many people loaded with me to
You
seek
wanna ride with me?
attention. When they want
You
to
wanna ride with me, girl?
I should've listened.
You wanna ride with me?
The money, my strength is
You like Shank Back?
She chick for dick, I let her lit, I had to dip. I'm on for fit, I'm on rich now. I bought a whip, I paint a paint, it drive itself. The fuck you think? Yeah, I'm rich now. Hey, little mama, yeah, you heard about me. I'ma pop you like a pea, yeah, and I'm on me. Yeah, feel so hot like I'm chilling on the beach. Yeah, baby in the sun like the Teletubbies. Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the guala, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, never drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a thotty, that's a no.
I've been in the club and taking shots. If you got your mask off in the photo, you getting crap. Hopping out the function. The CVS is like a block away. Bought a moisturizer, my ice cold is dry on my face. Don't need that VVS, my ice is fake. Your life is fake. I choose to do it for my pocket's sake. You're basing your opinions on what the major says. I renovate the bad energy I erase.
Yeah, I don't really ever wanna top. Only really ever wanna top. Guess I'm going back to the side. At least this money never really stop. Hey, little mama, yeah, you heard about me. I'ma pop you like a pea, yeah, and I'm on me. Yeah, feel so hot like I'm chilling on the beach. Yeah, baby in the sun like the Teletubbies. Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the guala, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, never drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a thotty, that's a nose. riding my little pony. Call me Richard, Al Capone, smooth and cold, last names and bones. She said I taste sweet like soba, taking my big ass bag for Sony. I'm designing my shit Adobe, sailed at 7, she's got dick like Moby. Crazy little freak, tryna jump in my sheet, cause she know that I do the do. Quick little snap and a quick little shake, yeah, I'm feeling like Fu Manchu. Yeah, I'm swinging big dick energy.